Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Maverick here today with episode 3 of Sonny Boy. So, we're still not entirely clear how exactly this world works. We are given a little bit hints and clues in the last episode, so apparently, it's much more than just being isekai'd into one world, and they have to figure out the rules and various powers of this world, but apparently there's many other different worlds that they can go into, each perhaps with their own unique quirk and so on and so forth. So, I would venture a guess and say we're probably going to have to solve a situation in regards to a different world in every episode going forward, and it's probably also going to relate back to a certain character or a certain concept, right? And this ties into something else that I've been talking about since the beginning of this series. Like, what exactly is this series about, right? You could make it into sort of like a social commentary or a clash of ideologies and whatnot, or even a political reference, if you will. You could have like just a normal superpower shonen battle fantasy, survival fantasy kind of setting, or you could be having sort of like a coming of age and adolescent problems, that kind of thing, some philosophical discussions and whatnot, what it means to grow up, and so on and so forth, right? And at this point in time, I am leaning more towards the latter. I feel like, what we saw in episode 2 kind of points us in this direction. But, not really sure if that's true or not. I guess we'll just get more evidence in this episode, so let's just jump right into it. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Alright, make sure I'm recording and all that. Let's go. Bathroom? Oh, is that like... yeah? Who the hell puts the portal inside the toilet? Gross. And they... ooh, what? Is that like a centipede or whatnot? Oh, they can come out? Alright. I was about to ask if he had oxygen in there. Look at this dude. Like, how many high-tech stuff does he have? One-way trap. Nah, I don't think so. No, I stand by my theory that Nagara is the one who's responsible for all these different worlds. And most probably the fact that they are here in the first place. Webcam. Good question. Because even us, we've never seen it, right? We don't see the light. And what, are these guys like part of the scouting committee or something? Where's the rest of the gang? AirPod? Hmm? I like how they don't freak out or anything, and they're just like, ooh, ew, how disgusting. A week ago. Well, hello. what were you expecting? No? Oh? Nagara? By the way, I just noticed, Nozomi is the one in the traditional main character seat, right? You know, the leftmost one seat in the back. Why should we? What the hell is that? That like a metal detector? Mm-hmm. Do tell. Oh. Yes, princess. First kitsch. Yeah, what does it matter? It's a fake economy anyways. Okay. Yes, are these people without powers? Like, wow, really? Why would they have to plant crops? Don't they? Like, don't they have unlimited supplies? No cats allowed. What do you have against cats? Hmm. I wonder what they're doing over there, though. Like, that almost seemed like one of those, you know, secret base, secret clubs, or, you know. Obviously, like, no, only people from our gang can enter, and somewhat. Really? What? Yeah, that makes sense. I was thinking about that guy, right? Because he does seem to like know a lot, right? He seems to know a lot more than others. Oh. Hmm. Yep. Hmm. I was about to say, Nozomi is surprisingly perceptive, right? Even though, it's kind of hard to judge her actions and whatnot. Yeah, I highly think that Nagara is the one responsible for all these portals. So basically, being ostracized, right? There's a power list. Okay, I'm actually really interested in that. It makes sense though. That would probably be one of the first things I don't want to do. Super Gravitonian Switch. Universal Club with no power. Terrestrial. Hmm. Well, I think it's quite easy to say who made the list, right? Hello. Is this Asakaze guy wanting to hit on Nozomi? But for real though, that is pretty cool, not gonna lie. I think gravity manipulation is probably one of the best abilities out there. Nurse station.
気もないんだ。僕が勝てるわけないだろ。それでもいいじゃん。
No? The fuck? What? Did they go into another world? Oh, this is where the other guys are, isn't it? Like their happy space or something?
3組のながらだけど、ちょっといいかな。あのさ、みんな心配してて探してたんだけど、大丈夫？よかったら一緒に帰らない？
そんなわけない。心配してるわけない。
確かに、みんな気にもしてなかったね。
I like how they have electricity here and probably internet as well.
君はどうしてここに？
わからない。もう嫌だ嫌だって思って、気づいたらここにいたんだ。
気づいたらここに？
きっと神様が願いを叶えてくれたんだ。
どうやってここに？
Oh.
暗幕の中が繋がってて。どういうこと？
Damn, that looks fun, right? No, as a gamer as well, being able to play games, and there's even a refrigerator next to it. Hey man, that guy's living the life. Okay, so I guess it's more so the case where they... Oh, this is like their safe space or oh, the place that they feel comfortable with? Being able to do their hobbies and whatnot to their heart's content?
フリーズは何かこの世界のルールだったんだ。心配して損した。あいつらただの引きこもりじゃん。
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was hikikomori, right? Although with this, you definitely kind of feel that, well, this anime has some connotations with like social commentary and whatnot.
でも自分じゃ出れないみたいで。じゃあどうするの？具体的な対策は？それはまだ。朝風に頼んで無理やり引っ張り出せばいいでしょ。それで解決よ。本人たちは出たくないって言ってるんだから。じゃあ金か物で釣る。それじゃダメだよ。もっと使えるやつだと思ってたけど勘違いだ。なんでだよ。僕はただ。そんなだから望みにも見捨てられんだ。
Alright.
好きだかなんだか知んねえけどヘラヘラ後ついて回ってさ、見てて気持ち悪いんだよ。違う、そんなわけないだろ。ほらやっぱり本人が。
Since when did this turn into a triangle relation?
ああ、そっか。わかった。だから君は今回の捜査やるって言ったんだ。自分の無能さを知るために。はあ？自分もただの引きこもりだったくせに。
Is this the first time we see Nagara actually strike back, though? Oh. That was it?
操作うまくいってないんだって。
Yeah.
どうした？暗い顔して。こっちはナガラがいないと何も始まらないんだから。朝風、あいつ口だけでさ、全然見つけらんないの。そうなんだ。
Wait, don't tell me you actually believed him, Nagara.
けど、みんなこの生活が嫌で隠れてただけみたいなんだ。
どこに隠れてたの？
なんか黒い暗幕みたいのがたくさん下がっているところで。
続いてるんだけど、途中で隙間がポケットみたいなのがいくつかあって、そこにいたんだ。
それって学校以外で他の世界への扉を見つけたってこと？
それはよくわかんないんだけど。
学校の視聴覚室で見つけたこの世界覚えてる？これも扉？マジムカつく。イライラする。私も言い過ぎたかもしんないけど。
What? Since okay, never mind. Does Mizuho have like something for Nagara? And what the hell is that? Well, raising the curtains. So what's gonna be revealed underneath? Oh wait, nothing? What? So, just by tearing that curtain, how would they know that that even works? Like, what? How do they even know that can be destroyed? Alright, they're all back now. Oh, apology time? I bet Asakaze is gonna be a little bit pissed though. Oh, Pony doesn't seem too pleased with the situation either. Ah, here we go. See? What did I say? I definitely feel that it's Nagara's power. And the fact that they're all here as well, I feel like it's probably Nagara's doing. Oh. That's cool. Alright. Interesting cliffhanger there. Well, anyways, I'll see you guys after this. Okay, that was episode 3, and I do think some things are becoming more and more clear as time goes on, right? In terms of, some of the things that I've had my suspicions on, I feel like they are kind of confirmed in this episode. But before we get into all that, though, I just want to quickly point out, the animation there, especially in regards to that, that black curtain world and all that, it's definitely quite nice to look at, right? I still have to say, right, the entire series up to this point, 3 episodes in, the animation style and whatnot, even though I still don't think that it's exactly, my type of style, right? It's not exactly the thing that, how can I say? It's a much more of a subjective thing, if you will. So, the art style, how they animate the movements of the characters, and how they treat like the colors and whatnot. It's definitely unique, and I think we can all agree that it's high quality, right? Especially that part where Nagara was using all those doodads and gadgets to break up the black curtain and all that. But it's definitely unique and high quality, right? And so, yeah, just wanted to point that out real quick. But let's talk a little bit about the meat of this episode, right? Which is basically, some sort of social commentary, I guess you could say, or sort of like philosophical view on this entire thing. So, even though I say this, I feel like there's various different interpretations that we can go about, and I'm not talking about different interpretations as to what the anime is trying to convey, but actually in terms of whether you believe this is right or wrong. So let's talk about this situation here, right? Now, obviously, it's the fact that, hey, these few kids here, they're kind of like ostracized from, the normal groups, from society and whatnot, depending on how large or how small you want to make it, and then they become reclusive, right? They become a hikikomori. Or as some people like to call them, NEETs, right? Not in education, what's in it? Not in education, not employed, and not in training, right? So basically, the stereotypical just live with your parents and not have a job and laze around all day, right? Or like some gaming stereotypes, which is like living in your mom's basement, something of that sort. So I guess you could say that these people these few students who were pushed into that black curtain world is representative of them as well. And generally, I think, you could, if you want to look at it from a more harsh kind of angle, you could also argue, because I mentioned before, right, this is sort of like a coming of age anime, I feel. You could argue that those that continue to exhibit those kind of tendencies, right, not really working well with society, not really integrating with society, not really getting a job, not really moving on with their life and whatnot. In some ways, you could say they haven't grown up yet, right? They're still like a child, they don't accept the responsibilities of being an adult. Of course, that is looking at it from a more harsh kind of perspective here. And, I'm not going to say whether it's right or wrong. I feel like everybody has their own perspective on this. And especially, there's also a generation gap. And who's to say that what exactly is right, what exactly is wrong, right? Do you feel that, you should labor in order to earn the fruits of your labor and in order to live your life? Well, I'll bet that the answer to that question probably has a very different age curve as well, right? So I'm not going to comment on that right now, but I'm just saying that you could make that kind of argument, right? And I feel like, even though that's what I thought at first, what the anime was trying to portray, but later on, the way that they solved the entire situation, as well as the dialogue there, I think it's more making a commentary that, or making a statement that, hey, these people are not choosing to be reclusive from society because they actively chose to, right? It's because that, they have some, maybe they're just not as well adjusted, right? They were ostracized, and nobody really made an effort to integrate them into society and whatnot. So it could be making a social commentary in that way. If society was to provide an ample solution to this, and allow them to be integrated within society, that's the real solution to all of this instead, right? You can't just go blaming them on not growing up, but you have to make a more active effort, a more conscious effort to try and bring them in, right? Bring them back from that. That's, I think that is a kind of idealistic point of view, and I do get the feeling that that's probably what this anime, right, this work, and the author, which is the director, is trying to preach here. Now, I have a different view on this actually, and in order to explain that, I have to explain sort of like now, I don't think I've mentioned this in other works before, and if I have, I'm sorry, but you know, just to give a quick basis of what I'm trying to say here. So I truly believe that there are people who are naturally extroverted and people who are naturally introverted, right? You know, to me, this is you know, this is a fundamental, there's a fundamental difference here. Now, throughout history and whatnot, you know, we are predominantly being guided by the more extroverted type of thinking here, right? You have to, you know, interact with others, you have to socialize with others, you need to be integrated within society, right? So even if the anime is going at this from, you know, we need to work more actively to accept them within society, even if it's coming from that kind of perspective, I feel like it's still leaving out this sort of, some people just naturally want to be left alone, right? Like even me, for instance. Even though I do have I'm what in Japanese they might call a business yokia, which is basically extroverted when necessary, but fundamentally introverted, right? Like, you know, I can go to my job actually requires me to interact with tons of people and you know, give off the vibe of you know, knowing what I'm doing and you know, leading others, guiding others, and you know, it requires a lot of interpersonal connections as well and contact. But you know, fundamentally, hey, like I was saying during that scene when they were with those black curtains and the guy was there on his computer in his fridge, like, to be honest, that is like my ideal weekend, right? Like nobody, you know, nobody do anything to disturb me or whatnot. I don't care, you know, you want to go out or something, like, sure, but maybe, you know, I want a day for myself, right? I just want a day where nobody is distracting me. I'm just doing my stuff that I want to do. That could be gaming, that could be reading, that could be, you know, watching videos. I don't care, but you know, that's my alone time, right? That's my time. And I feel like that's a fundamental difference there, that a lot of because you know, the world is dominated by extroverted people. It's a natural causation. It's a natural effect of extroverted people being more willing to accept these kinds of leadership roles and responsibility roles and whatnot. And so the world is guided towards that way, right? But I do feel that you know, fundamentally there are people who just want to be left alone, and I don't agree with saying that, you know, this is a problem, this is a disease, and we need to solve it, because I feel like we need to first respect that there is this kind of fundamental difference between people here. And so that's why, for me, from my perspective, you know, it's okay if compared to other stuff and whatnot, you want to be left alone and doing your own stuff. I guess technically in this case that was shown in this episode here, it's not quite like that, because I feel like, you know, those four who were eventually sent into the Shadow Realm or banished into the Shadow Realm, or you know, put into the Black Curtain world, they actually wanted to connect with the others, right? They actually wanted to make friends and talk with others and whatnot. So I guess it is a little bit different there. But what I'm trying to say here is that I hope that you know, people don't look at this and come out feeling that, okay, in the future, if I do see someone who is more of a loner or whatnot, that they actually really really require, you know, this kind of social contact or whatnot. And don't get me wrong, like, introverts can also have good friends, right? We can also social and whatnot. It's just that, you know, there is still the easiest way to describe the difference here, I feel, is, you know, I heard this a long time ago, and I feel it's quite apt because it 100% applies to my situation as well. An extrovert is someone who can recharges their energy. You know, like, if you consider that people have energy levels, or how can I say this? You know, like your power, like your juice, you're running on your battery and whatnot. Extroverted people can get recharged by being in groups, right? Interacting with other people, you know, going out on some, you know, on a you know, going out to play, like, you know, whatever, right? Going shopping, going to get some food, going to see sports events, or heck, going to listen to music, anything, right? Going to the beach or whatnot. They get recharged doing that kind of thing. Introverts, though, introverts get recharged whenever they are alone and allowed to do things of their own volition, you know, get lost in their own thoughts and whatnot. It's not that they can't and they don't enjoy company, but it's that, you know, being in company actually exhausts their energy, right? being an introvert, being with other people, interacting, even if they are having a good time, it still exhausts them. So once the good time is over, they need some alone time to recharge, basically. And obviously, this might be even too broad a sort of differentiation or whatnot. But to me, I always felt that it was a pretty apt description here, and I don't know, it works pretty well to me when I try to explain to others. It's not that I don't like you or anything, or I don't want to go out with you, or I don't want to go out and play or whatnot. It's just that I need my alone time. All right, so yeah. So basically, okay, that kind of got into a sort of a tangent there, but I guess not really, because it's all related with the episode at hand anyways. But hopefully you guys can understand what I'm trying to say here. And so yeah, and so again, because of this episode and the fact that they do touch on these kinds of subjects, I am more and more convinced that the ultimately this entire series is a sort of like coming of age, a social commentary, trying to prepare people to grow up, if you will, to get into the real world and whatnot, to be prepared to become an adult and so on and so forth. So at least at that point, I'm kind of confident that we're heading towards that way. Now, to bring it back a little bit and to talk about some other stuff in regards to the characters and the world and whatnot, they touch on the fact that perhaps Nagara is the one creating these portals to other worlds and whatnot. Hey, I'm psychic, man. so yeah, I do believe that, and like I said, I do believe that it's actually also Nagara who's responsible for them all being here, because it's him being essentially stuck in time, or not really sure of his future and whatnot, that's causing them to all be drifting into this place in the first place. So there's that, right? And then in terms of Hoshi, what exact kind of character that he represents, I don't know. I think it's still too early to tell, so I'm gonna wait until next episode, because we saw that cliffhanger at the very end there. It seems that something interesting is gonna happen. And by the way, that thing there, it kind of reminds me of the monolith from 2001: Space Odyssey and whatnot. But just throwing it out there. And I guess one final comment I want to make is in regards to the relationship, if you will, between Nagara and Nozomi and Mizuho, right? And I guess also Asakaze as well, right? We seem to be having some sort of relationship troubles here, right? So I would guess that maybe Nagara and Nozomi, not really sure like what exactly their relationship is. I do think that they are kind of conscious of each other, or at least they feel each other is a little bit special. I'm not quite sure if that's actually infatuation or any type of having any kind of romantic undertone or anything, but let's just put that right there, right? I feel like Asakaze actually likes Nozomi, right? And so he's getting jealous of Nagara being the center of attention of Nozomi, and them being so close. So I feel like there's that going around. And on the other hand, I feel like Mizuho is also kind of sorta having a little bit of a thing for Nagara as well. So that's why she's also a little bit she got a little bit pissy in this episode as well, if you will. Not really sure like when this came to be, but we're only 3 episodes in, and I guess that makes the most sense to explain like their current actions and whatnot. And Nagara, I feel like he does also he is also kind of well, I mean, who can blame him, right? Nozomi is cute, right? I mean, we gotta admit that Nozomi is really, really cute. I have to say, I love her personality. I think it's safe to say that Nagara also kind of feels a little bit something from Nozomi. I mean, it just happens, right? When someone, this new girl barges into your world. We've seen this kind of story a million times before, so I wouldn't be too surprised. And so that's why probably also he was getting a little bit pissed at Asakaze's words, because maybe that hit into his insecurities, right? That, hey, maybe Nozomi really doesn't think that much of Nagara, and now she's gonna go with Asakaze and whatnot. And so that's why Nagara was also and got a little bit reassured at the end there, because Nozomi showed up and said, yeah, Nagara, you're important and all that, and so he regained his confidence and all that. I don't know, man. I feel like there's sort of those undertones here. Well, let's continue watching in the future. Anyways, thank you guys. I will see you guys next time as well, and bye-bye.